Hi everyone, my name is Sam. I'm a naturalist here at the Chattahoochee Nature Center, and today you are joining me in our beautiful Unity garden. Now in this garden, we grow all fresh and healthy produce like vegetables and fruit and herbs, and we have three goals at the Unity garden: production, donation, and education. And we have a great group of workers and volunteers that not only harvest all and grow all this produce, but they also donate this produce. And 100% of what we harvest and grow in this garden gets donated to the food pantries of North Fulton County, and it really goes to the people who need it. And we're so proud of the Unity Garden. So next time you're here at the Chattahoochee Nature Center, come on up and look for signs pointing toward the Unity Garden and see what we're growing, meet our resident chickens, and learn about how we're growing this produce sustainably and how we're helping out the community. So today we're going to be talking about something that we do in the Unity Garden, and it's actually a great way to help the environment, and it's something that you can do at home. Now, you probably heard of recycling paper or plastic and even glass, but did you know that you can also recycle your leftover food? That's right. You can mix your leftover food from the kitchen, mix it with things in your yard, and after a certain amount of time, it turns into something called compost. Now, what exactly is compost? Compost is a special kind of dirt that's packed full with nutrients, and we can use it in our gardens to help keep our soil healthy and to also help our plants grow nice and healthy and strong. And think of it this way. Everyone needs vitamins to grow big and healthy and strong. Well, compost is kind of just like a vitamin for your soil and your plants. All right, so how do we go from our waste and our garbage to beautiful flowers and yummy vegetables? Well, we start by following a certain recipe, kind of like a chef. And we need certain ingredients. So let's pretend to be environmental chefs and start working on our recipe. The first ingredient that we need is something called brown waste. Now, brown waste is going to be the things that you find in your yard. Could be dead leaves, could be dead plants that didn't make it through the winter. And I'm just going to start layering this at the bottom of my bin. And I have wood chips, I have some grass from when I mowed the lawn, and we're just going to make a nice big layer at the bottom of our bin. You could also use shredded newspaper from your house and even some shredded cardboard. This falls into the category of brown waste. So the next ingredient we need is green waste. And now this is going to be the waste that you find in your kitchen. Could be the apple core you had for lunch. It could be the vegetables you didn't eat for dinner. So we're going to make our second layer right on top of our brown waste. Your banana peel. I have some coffee grounds and some coffee filters, and we're just going to make another layer right on top. And it's going to be a little less than our brown. We want more brown waste than green waste. So once we have that layer down, we can go back to our brown waste and make another layer. And we're sort of kind of layering, we're making kind of a garbage lasagna right here. And I'm going to add just one more layer of green waste. Another banana peel. So we got our layers of brown and green waste. And now the next ingredient we need is this dirt. Now, why would I pour dirt on top of this waste? Well, just that small amount of dirt contains billions of tiny living things called decomposers. And they could be anything from worms and insects to bacteria and fungi. And they're going to do all the hard work for us. They are going to eat all of our waste. And when they eat our waste and it travels through their body, it's going to turn into compost, that nutrient-rich soil that we're looking for. Now, the last ingredient we need is time. It's going to take a lot of time for these tiny little creatures and living things to eat through this waste. it could take about 2 months or even a year to get all of the waste turned into compost. There are a couple things we can do to speed up the process. We can take some water and we can water our pile every once in a while. And every couple of weeks, and even a week when it's really hot in the summer, you can stir your pile. And this is just gonna let the air flow through it. If we were doing it for real, we would put holes here because there are living creatures in our pile and they need the oxygen flow as well. So one of the best things about having a compost pile is that it's like having a science experiment in your backyard. And one of my favorite things to do is to go outside and look and observe what I see in my compost pile. I've seen mushrooms growing in it. I've seen insects I've never seen before. And it's just a really fun way to learn about life cycles and other decomposers. Okay, so we just talked about how compost can help our soil and our habitat. Now we're going to meet an animal that does something very similar and helps its habitat. And it is the gopher tortoise. And it is the state reptile of Georgia. And they live in an ecoregion called the coastal plains in the bottom half of our state. And in the coastal plains, they have very sandy soil. So what this gopher tortoise likes to do is it likes to dig. And the first thing you might notice about the gopher tortoise is its legs. So you can see the back legs are very strong and sturdy, almost like elephant legs. And the front legs are shaped perfectly like shovels. So they are designed to be excellent diggers. And what they'll do is they'll dig these big burrows or tunnels. And these tunnels can be 10 feet deep and 30 to 40 feet long. So if you think about that, that is about the size of a school bus. And what they use these burrows for is for protection from predators, to stay warm during the winter, or cool during the hot summer months. So how does this help their habitat? Well, these burrows are so big that hundreds of other animals can use these burrows, from mammals to reptiles, amphibians, insects, and even birds. So it's like a whole underground village that this gopher tortoise provides. And the gopher tortoise is what's known as a keystone species. And that just means that the gopher tortoise is so important that if you remove the gopher tortoise from the habitat, all those other animals would be harmed. So this gopher tortoise is very important to keeping our ecosystem healthy and diverse. Another thing that the gopher tortoise does to help its habitat is through its diet, what it eats. This gopher tortoise will eat native grasses and plants and other fruit. And what happens is when they eat these plants, it goes through their body, and when they use the bathroom, they help spread all these seeds throughout its habitat. So the gopher tortoise helps all these native plants spread and grow nice and healthy, just like our compost does. It keeps the soil nice and healthy as well. So this gopher tortoise has been with us at the Nature Center for quite some time, and she is one of our animal ambassadors that we use to teach all about the gopher tortoise. Now, we found her in the Atlanta area, and as we know, gopher tortoises like to live in a region called the coastal plains, which is at the bottom part of the state. So she was a good ways away from where she should be. And what we think might have happened is we think someone might have taken her as a pet and brought her up to this area, and she might have escaped where she was being kept or gotten out in another way, and we found her on the road after she had been possibly hit by a car. And when we found her, her nails were really worn down, so what we think might have happened is she was being kept either on concrete or someone's driveway, and when she would try to dig her burrows, her nails got really worn down and so damaged that she can't grow those nails back again. So she's not able to dig her great burrows that they would be able to do in the coastal plains. So she lives here with us, and we take great care of her, and we use her to teach all about the amazing gopher tortoise. All right, so thank you for joining me today and learning all about compost and how it keeps our soil healthy and makes our plants grow nice and big and strong. And it's also a really great way to help our environment. So don't be afraid to get a little bit dirty. Go collect some leaves in your backyard, your leftover food from your kitchen, even find some worms, mix it all together and start your compost pile today. And next time you come visit the Nature Center, make your way on up to the Unity Garden and learn all about how we use our compost to grow our fresh produce and how we use that to help our community. Bye.